Mr. Speaker, after 8 years, after this Prime Minister and this government, Canadians are suffering. Mortgage payments have doubled. Rents have increased right across the country in the highest pace in the last 30 years. The cost of groceries have skyrocketed. Everything is more expensive because of this government's inflationary spending and uncontrolled spending, Mr. Speaker. Will they now admit that their economic policies over the last 8 years have not worked and it's time to change course to help Canadians get through the mess that they created?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I had an opportunity during the course of the other questions to reflect upon the question that was posed by the Leader of the Opposition. I would suggest that the Leader think about the assertion that anybody supports anybody taking their life. That when there are difficult times, and when we are talking about issues like MAID, Mr. Speaker, it is below this place to assume that any person anywhere in this country supports the idea of suicide as a way through dark times.
The Honourable Member for Edmonton Mill Woods.
Mr. Speaker, it's the disastrous economic policy of this government for the last 8 years has left people in complete despair. It has actually caused the 40-year high inflation that we see now and forced the Bank of Canada to raise interest rates again. Over 70% of Canadians say that they may not be able to keep up with these rate increases. So now, will this government realize that their economic policies of the last 8 years have been wrong? They're not working. It's time to change course and help Canadians get through the mess that they created.
The Honourable Minister for Tourism.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians know how to get through tough times. We pull together, we support each other, we don't leave people alone. The Conservative ideology is, Canadians, you're on your own. Businesses, let the markets decide. Seniors, don't worry. Go into your savings, pay for your own rent and your own groceries. The Conservatives, Mr. Speaker, have no plan on climate change, on building the economy, on affordability. They have buzzwords and catchphrases and nonsense economics. They have no plan. We do.
The Honourable Member for Peterborough-Kawartha.
After 8 years of this Liberal Prime Minister, people are truly struggling, and everyone knows it except these Liberals. The common question on talk shows is, what are you cutting back on due to inflation? And the answers are heartbreaking. But what's even more disturbing is that these Liberals want to blame the global market for their inability to manage your money. Yet Tiff Macklem said in just October, inflation in Canada increasingly reflects what is happening in Canada. So when will the Liberals take accountability, responsibility, and fix what they've broken?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it's all fine and good to cherry-pick the comments of the Bank of Governor, but let's actually look at the last statement from the Governor of the Bank, who clearly said that he will pause rate increases. Bank of Canada has been clear. We expect to see inflation around 3% by the summer and closer to 2% by the end of the year. That is their mission, to get inflation under control. Our job, which the Conservatives don't seem to understand because they keep voting against Canadians, is to provide supports to those who need it the most, and that's exactly what we're going to keep doing.